Hello and welcome to Mollie's Motif. This is Emily and I'm here with another video today to show you a card I'm making for another challenge blog. And I am addicted to challenge blogs if you haven't caught on to that by now. And this week at diecutanddivas.blogspot.com they are having the challenge of using an ice cream cut or cone on a card in honor of National Ice Cream Month. And so today I am going to put together a birthday card that you could use for a little boy. It's not as girly. You could give it to a girl. There's not a problem with that, but it's a little bit more boy colors, not so cutesy as far as like the pinks and that sort of thing. So I am going to be using the Simply Charmed cartridge, and I've had this one for a while. This was one of my first cartridges that I got, and I think it's just a really cute, fun cartridge. It has tons of different images for different occasions and holidays, and the little faces that they have on all the cuts are just so cute. And so I'm going to be using, I've never used the ice cream cone from this cartridge, so that's what I was going to use today. Okay, so here is the little ice cream cone that I cut out. He is found on page 44 of the Simply Charmed manual. And I had to figure this out because I had never used a PKS stamp before. I've always just used the layers that they give you so that you have the little face on the cut. But if you wanted to do something different for the face or use a PKS stamp, you basically just have to omit layer 2. So you cut your base cut, which I did out of brown, and then you cut layer 1. And you cut layer 1 in the color that you want your ice cream cone. So whether you want it pink or yellow or green or whatever color you want, you just cut layer 1 out of that color. You don't cut layer 2, and then if you want to cut the other layers, which I did, I cut layer 3 so that I could have the little light reflection element that it gives to your cut. I did want to use that, but I didn't use the little cone cut that they give you. Instead, I just used the Argyle embossing folder in my Cuttlebug. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I just ran my cone through that. I like the look. It looks more like a sugar cone. So that's what I did instead of using that cut that the manual has you cut out. And then I cut a shadow, the shadow feature. I did cut the shadow feature for this cut, and I think he just turned out so cute. And when I was looking at the PKS stamps, some of the tutorials and stuff, I noticed that people use their white jelly pen to color in the eyes, and so that's what I did. I've had my jelly pen, this is the first time I've actually used it, and I've had my jelly pen for like 6 months, so kind of crazy. But so yeah, I just colored the pupils. I didn't color the outside of the eye, just put some white dots in there. So that's the cone. That's how the cone turned out, and I think he's just super cute. Okay, so for the rest of my card, I basically have used scraps. I don't know how you organize your scraps, but for me, what has worked, I just have found these really cheap storage bins at Walmart. They're like $1 or $2 for 3. And so I've got this size, and I have this longer size, and I just store my scraps in there, just depending on the size of the scrap. So that's kind of my system, and it works for me. And I just went through my scrap bin and just found some papers that I thought would be cute and that were big enough to fit on the card. So I don't know where the paper came from. I don't know where it's from. And today I decided to do a portrait style card, which is taking an 8.5 by 11, and instead of cutting it in half this way, you cut it in half this way and then fold it down. So that's what I've done today for my card. And then I have a fun yellow, kind of a mustardy color yellow as my mat, and then just my scraps that I pulled together. I'm just going to kind of layer it like that, put it together. And then I have some ribbon that was just in my scrap stash. And I'll just basically have my layout like this. And then my ice cream cone, I'm going to pop him up on some foam tape, 1 or 2 thicknesses, I'm not sure yet. And I'll arrange him down here. And then my sentiment is just celebrate. And I did get this stamp from this stamp set. It's a birthday stamp set. And it has some fun birthday wishes, party, make-a-wish, different fonts, and different sizes. I sometimes like to use the bigger size stamp on the inside of my card, just so that when you open it up it's not so blank in there. But this one's a really cute set, and I'm pretty sure it's Hero Arts, but I'll double check, I'll look that up, and then I'll put it down on the screen so that you can know for sure where I got it from. And so I will be putting my little sentiment probably on an angle up at the top and situating it something like that. So I'll go ahead and get this all put together, and I'll come back and show you the outside, how it all came together, and the inside when I'll get that done. Okay, so here's my card. I got it all put together, and I think it turned out really cute. The inside of my card is very simple. Like I said, this is going to go to a little boy, so I didn't want to doll it up too much. But I did put some brads in the corners of my mat, just for a little accent. And I know that they have paper piercers out there, and I don't have one of the formal tools for this. I just use my Cricut that came in the Cricut tools, the one that looks like the dental hygienist tool. And I use a piece of craft foam, and I just take my paper, put it on the foam, and then just pierce it, and then I'm able to guide my brad through. So I don't have, the actual paper piercer tool, but this has worked for me just with what I've had on hand. And even I've used a needle at times. I'll just take a needle and I'll pierce the paper to guide my brads through, and that has worked. And my happy birthday stamp, it has come from the same stamp set as my Celebrate. It's the bigger happy birthday. And I do like using that bigger stamp just because it takes up a little bit more room, but you still have plenty of room to write something for whoever you give it to. And also I have used the Memento Tuxedo Black ink on my card. I normally use the color box Chestnut Brown, but I have heard that when you get stamps that you're going to color in, like with your Copics or even the Peachy Keen stamps, I've heard that the Memento Tuxedo Black ink is the best ink to use because it doesn't bleed, it doesn't smear when you're coloring. So that's what I've used on my card today, and I am really excited to start using the Peachy Keen stamps. This is my first set. I'm expecting 2 more tomorrow, and I'm just really excited about the personality that's going to add to the cards, and the different Cricut cuts, and the paper dolls, and the little animals. I'm just really excited to start using the Peachy Keen stamps in my crafting. So if you don't have a set of these, I don't know why I waited 3 years to get a stamp set, one of these stamp sets, because they are just adorable. I think they're so cute. So I'm really in love with these stamps. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and watching my video. I'm having a lot of fun making these videos and trying to pass on some tips and tricks of the trade, and hopefully you're learning some things. I'd appreciate it if you'd leave any comments, and if you'd want to follow on my blog, it's molliemugsblog.blogspot.com, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Mollie's Motif. But I'm just having a blast making these videos, and I love making cards, and hopefully you'll continue to tune in and watch what I come up with in the future. And we'll catch you next time.